Shouts out to my people, sending love, positivity, and good vibes to my people, man. I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm doing great. It's funny, I was just looking for my glasses, right? Literally, before I made this video, I had my glasses on top of my head. So I'm like, where's my glasses? I go all the way to the car and I see like the reflection. Before I could even go in the car, I'm like, wow, they're on my head. Wow. So, yeah. Anyways, got a killer chest and try workout in today. Great workout. We got some clips, so make sure you guys stay to the end of the video where you guys can see me doing some bench press. Didn't get a lot of film because we went live today, but hey, make sure you guys tap into the bio where you guys can follow my other platforms. You know, we on TikTok, IG, YouTube, so just follow the movement, and I appreciate the support. But I wanted to give you guys this gem for today. Today's gem: become more dominant. And I'm gonna give you 7 ways to become more dominant / masculine. So the first gem that I wanted to give to you guys is you gotta be silent. You gotta move with silence. Think about favorite superhero. I think of Batman. I think of James Bond. The way they moved is with silence. They only talked when need be, and you never see Batman just rant and just going off. Just it was real short, sweet, to the point, and he only talked when necessary. Same thing with James Bond. James Bond, he's on all these missions. Everybody is freaking out around him. Man, a few words, all about action. That is how you should move. You should move with silence. Silence is your superpower. Think about females, right? Imagine a relationship. I know you guys probably been in a relationship, but every single time you got in a relationship and you were the one talking about your problems and what you're going through, y'all, do you not understand that your girl is looking at you like you're the girl? Like, I should be the one venting to you. I should be the one opening up to you. Now, now we all going through things in life. I'm not saying to be a bump on the log, to have as much personality as a rock. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, there are times where, you're human and you might be going through things and you may open up. But for the day to day, you really don't want to be talking about your problems, talking about what people did to you. You come off as super weak. Your girl, she only wants to know that that you got it figured out. Your girl should be coming to you when she has a problem. And if you're coming to her, it's almost like going to your kids and being like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna be, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, I'm stressed out. At the end of the day, especially as a man, to be masculine, to be dominant, man, you just gotta zip your mouth up and figure it out. And a lot of the times when you do that and you're silent and you're not just out here bleeding around sharks, you're not out here just draining your energy. When you're able to just sit down in solitude and have that inner conversation with yourself, a lot of the times you'll figure everything out. You might be going through some things. Like I said, we're all human. So there's certain situations where you definitely should open up, especially if you have a partner. But for the most part, you got to move militant. You have to figure these things out. I saw a post on my phone, and it was a girl. She texted her dad and was like, hey, how do you change a tire, right? And her dad was like, well, where's Jason? And she's like, oh, well, he doesn't know how to change a tire, da 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 da. Her dad was like, step 1, break up with Jason. And that's so true. And before, right, before I have the mindset that I have now, I had the mindset of just, why not have somebody else do it? Why not have somebody else change your oil? Why not have somebody else to, put up a frame? And I'm not saying you got to be Mr. Handyman, but sometimes you just have to have that wherewithal to, you know what, I'm a man and I'm going to figure this out. No matter what, I'm going to figure this shit out. It may take me, longer than expected, but I'm going to figure this out. That's a lot of the times the energy that women want to see. They just want to know that you're willing to, even if you don't know and you don't even figure it out, she will respect you more if you're willing to try. If you try and you don't know what you're doing and it doesn't work, and at least it looks like, now you can actually, somewhat blame it on a car in that example. And with technology, bro, you could literally go on YouTube. That's what I did one time. A girl called me, right? Called me, hey, can you help me? I got a pop tire. Truth be told, I've done it before. I know how to change a tire. But for the most part, I didn't know how different tires come with different things. You got to have certain equipment. So, I'm over here. Like I said, I'm just winging it. I'm on YouTube. I'm over here trying to watch the video before she in her car. I'm over here trying to get under the car, watch the video to act, and it took me a little minute. It took me a while, but once I got the wheels going, once I built up the momentum, bam, 35, 45 minutes later, she's got her tire back on her car, and I'm gonna have to cook you dinner. I appreciate you so much. Her femininity came out because I did something masculine. So, back to silence. Yes, be silent, but at the same time, like when it comes to these females, you got to be able to, take action. You got to be able to try to figure it out. And even with your enemies, with being silent, like, you become invisible. They don't know how to attack. People may feel some type of way, might not like you, but when you're out here and you're talking about your feelings and emotions and who did you wrong, bro, you're literally giving your enemies the blueprint. And sometimes your enemies won't even be your enemies, but they see how much you're talking and just exuding and just doing too much, that these people will eventually become your enemies because of you, because you couldn't stay silent. You couldn't just stay in frame and just let everything work itself out. That energy will allow you to be stuck in the same places. Now people think that they can play with you, they can take from you. So, your superpower is being silent. So that's number one. Number two, breathe. Breathing is so important, y'all. You don't even understand. And a lot of the times it's almost like what we manifest into our life, how we think and where we are in life. If you're not aware, if you're not thinking about what you're thinking, it's the same thing with your breath. If you're not thinking about how you're breathing, then, a lot of us have short breaths. Think about the movies where the serial killer is chasing the girl, and the girl, she has that panting, she has that, panic breath. And when she's running away from the killer, guess what? Every single time she's goes right into breath. If she would just sit and 45% of better thoughts come to mind. So if you're able into, high intense situations, drama, stress, when you're in a situation and you're able to just sit, take a deep breath and breathe, that is what's going to allow you to think of solutions in order to get out of that. When you're just painting, you're not really thinking. You're thinking about your breath. You're not thinking about what to do. When you're able to, take a deep breath and really get grounded, that's when you're able to step into another dimension. Think about it. Think about when you see people meditating. Imagine the monks. We look at monks and how peaceful they are. Where does all that come from? Yeah, their posture. Yes, it comes from, you know, their focus and attention, but also the most important thing that we pick up on is their breaths, their deep breaths, their control. If you just did that with me, matter of fact, just do it with me. Breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. I guarantee you just felt different. 9 times out of 10, you weren't even thinking about your breath watching this video. But when you just stopped and controlled your breath, breathing in and breathing out, it almost felt like you leveled up to a different frequency. Like it was just a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more positive. That's where you want to be. You want to think positive thoughts, and the way you do that is by your breathing techniques. When you're in the gym, this is another metaphor. I'm always using metaphors, but when you're in the gym, right? When you shut your breath, a lot of people like to hold in their breath, but when they hold in their breath, they cut off the oxygen to their muscles. So breathing goes into lifting, it goes into life, it goes into, you know, what you can manifest. Control your breath. Control how you breathe. Getting into number 3. Number 3 is your posture. This is something that I constantly got to work on. I like growing up, I've had some of the worst posture. Leaning, slouching, but you can also see in how people treat you, what you manifest. When you go out into the world and your shoulders is relaxed, your chest is out, your head held high, you move with, you know, confidence. But your posture is very, 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 very important. You know, when you are the runt of the litter, people gonna pick on you. When you are weak, nature is going to pick on you. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how small you are. Your posture is going to be what speaks for you before you even open up your mouth. When you come in the room, when you able to make eye contact, when you're able to move with confidence. Rule number 4 to become more dominant is a 3-second pause. You shouldn't be out here, like I said, same thing with talking and thinking. Give yourself time. A king doesn't just come out here, and talking fast. And a king sits in his throne on his presence. He thinks of all the scenarios. He thinks of the good, of the bad, of the left, of the right. He's observing all the perspectives in order to find the right answer, in order to find the right solution. So don't be so quick to make a decision. Take at least a 3-second pause, no matter what, before you open up your mouth, before you say yes, say no. Sit and think. And this is really big when it goes into deals, business, negotiating. Take that pause. The difference between you getting got or you getting a deal. Take it slow. With whatever you do, move slow. Life teaches us we got to think fast, we got to move fast. Yes, that is definitely true. We got to take action, but the way we make our decisions, does this align with me? We got to ask ourselves questions. Is this something that aligns with me? Is this something that makes sense? Or is this something good for somebody else? Is somebody else trying to manipulate me? How many times have you immediately agreed with a decision? You said yes to a deal that you might not necessarily agreed upon or didn't really feel right, especially after the fact. And whole time you're damn near thinking like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said yes. But the fact that you hurried up and said yes, now you really can't go back. So your gut feeling and your intuition is telling you, this might not be something that you wanted to do. But since the fact that you're so quick and that response, now you feel entitled and now you feel like you have to do that. So that 3-second pause is what's going to allow you to say yes to the good decisions and for you to say no for the bad decisions. You always got to stay aligned. So rule number 5, always remain calm and steady. Same thing with all of what I'm talking about. You know, the turtle wins the race. So when you coming out here and you're striving for success and becoming the best version and self-development, yes, on the attack, to success, we're going full force, hitting the turbo, hitting the gas, no brakes. But when it comes to life decisions, when it comes to money choices, we have to really sit and we have to figure out, is this good for my future? Does this align with where I want to be? And if it's not, then you're going to have to say no to it. You're going to have to lock into what's for you. You got to know yourself. So always remain calm, always remain steady. If you're out here freaking out, a lot of people want to see that response up out of you. They want to see you crash out. They want to see you, arguing, fussing, and fighting. They want you to explain yourself and your side. They rather get a reaction out of you than for you to not even be bothered. And that's a lot of the time. Sometimes you can't even be bothered with what other people do, what other people say, because people are trying to drag you. A lot of, especially in our culture, it's a crabs in a bucket mentality. Everybody is trying to be the top dog. Everybody's trying to outcompete. So the best way to get away and around from all that energy is always remain calm and stay steady. And with whatever you do, stay calm. So we got silence, your breath, posture, 3 seconds, take it slow, always remain calm, steady. Number 6, manifest. This is one of the biggest things that I've really been focused on within the last year. Man, just manifest. Manifest the love life that you want. Manifest, your powers. Manifest respect. The way you do that is not forcing, not controlling, not chasing. I thought you had to work hard to be a millionaire. But when you realize if you're just aligned in with who you are and what you need to do, then all that is going to come. Once you stop wanting to control things, control people, and control, how people view you and how you feel and your past. Once you let go of all that and you just present, this is where I am and this is what I want to think. This is who I want to become. Once you step into that, y'all, a monkey's going to jump off your back. Like, you're going to feel so much lighter. You're going to feel so much better. A movie that I always constantly try to watch at least once a week is The Secret. We think so many thoughts in our head, and a lot of the times we'll be in a loop and we'll just keep thinking the thoughts. And a lot of the times the thoughts that we think are the negative thoughts that we don't want to think. Once you lock in and you're like, okay, I want to have an abundant life. I want to manifest positive things into my life. How can I do that? It's not from forcing it, controlling it. It's from letting go. Once you let go, you allow what's for you to attract to you, to come and find you naturally. You can't go out here every single time I forced a relationship. I found somebody that was good looking, who I was attracted to. And now we got to get married. We got to have kids. We got to, and it went wrong every single time. When it comes to love, when it comes to business, when it comes to anything. If you force anything in this world, it's going to go left. If you just allow people to be who they are now, I just let women be whoever the fuck they are. I'm not going to ask you any questions. There's no pressure. If you want to go out there into the world and you think you can find better, cool. But I'm going to be over here and I'm going to be on my mission, and I'm just locked in into what I can control and the thoughts that I think. And a lot of the times when you just focused on building your empire and you focused on getting better, every single time you turn around and there's more females that's focusing, oh, snap. His physique's getting better. Oh, he's making more money. Sometimes they can't see all that and they just feel the energy. They feel the aura because your energy's unmatched. You're not like these other guys out here that are simping, that are, validating. You're over here literally. It's almost like semen retention. That's why semen retention is so powerful. Because when you really putting your money where your mouth is and you're getting results and you're locked into who you are and building your empire, you're going to look and there's going to be more women that see that in you. They might not physically see what you're doing, but they're going to see, yeah, this is something different about him. A lot of the time, sometimes your energy might be so strong that kind of draw people off. They're like, I don't know how to take him for real. Like, he's attractive. I like him. He's cool. But there's just something different. So when you out here manifesting, you're going to attract what's for you. And what's for you ain't going to come and go. What's for you is going to stay. So it's really important to manifest what's for you, because you don't want to be in relationships. You don't want to be at a job. You don't want to be doing things, forcing things, controlling things, chasing things. And those things aren't even for you. You're just wasting time, energy, and effort. So, control your mind. Recently, I've just been giving everything to source. I'm controlling my mind. I'm taking action, but I'm giving everything else to him. How people treat me, how people view me, what people do, the outcome of life, my past. I'm just giving it all to him. Like, you know what? You take this. I'm trusting you with this, but I'm just going to put in action. And I'm going to do what you want me to do. And instead of giving the world my problems, I'm going to give you my problems, because I know that you're the only one that is really going to take control. You're the one that only really cares about my problems. So why give them to the world when the world wants to see my problems? When the world is going through their own problems? I might as well give my problems to Source, because he's going to know exactly, oh man, he's heartbroken. Okay, he's been dedicated, he's been consistent, he's been doing this thing. You know what? Let me just drop this little gem on him. And I swear to God, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. It was this bad. This is getting off the point. But it was a little bad mamacita, you know what I'm saying? And she, on top of, like I said, thinking positive thoughts, you'd be surprised, bro. I hop on my phone, look at this message, and it was somebody who was right up my alley. Latino, everything, look good, da da da. Almost too good to be true. Guess what I did? I didn't even reply back, because I'm so locked into the faith and belief and manifestation that it's like, I've been down this road so many times where you can be so eager and lose a gem like that. I'm not just saying females in general. It could be whatever. It could be a money deal. It could be a friendship. But you're just so eager, and they can feel that energy. And guess what? Now you went from manifesting them, bringing them into your life, and now you feel them coming in. Now you want to chase them, and they run away. They run away. So now, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, this is a test. Yeah, she hit me up. Yeah. And I'm not saying that she's going to be my next wife or nothing like that. I'm just using her as the example. I haven't even talked to her. Don't even really care. But it's like, that's the energy you got to have. You got to almost have like, whoever's going to come into my life is going to be organic. It's going to be natural. I'm not going to try to trap you into a box. If you vibe with me, if you fuck with me, fuck with me. If not, I got shit I got to do. And that is so much more attracting than trying to, lure somebody in or force love. So manifest. And the last one, last but not least, kill the old you. You got to kill your past. Everything you've been through, the ups, the downs. We're constantly in the loop, thinking thoughts. Oh, this is what happened to me. These people did me wrong. Fuck all that. You have survived 100% of your bad days. If you constantly, that's the programming. If you constantly looking at the negative, if you're constantly looking at, inflation and politics, and that's what you're consumed with, then you're going to be on that low frequency. That's what they want you to be on. They want you to think the same loop, the same thoughts. If everybody thought positive, if everybody thought they could be a millionaire and everybody, y'all, it would get dangerous. It would. That's why the 1%. That's how they control us. Is through our thoughts, how we think, the frequency and the energy we put out. So kill your past, and you got to kill the old you, the needy you, the person that, insecure. They needed validation, and they care what people think, and oh, poor is me, and I was the one that got the short end of the stick, and these people didn't. So what? So fucking what? Once you stop looking at it like poor me, and you look at it like this was designed for me, I had to go through the things that I went through in order to become the person that I needed to become. Once you have that outlook, that perspective, that lens, you're going to win. Everything when it comes to being a man, you have to switch the perspective. You got to break the loop, and you got to switch and fix and put in a better loop for you to win. If not, you're just constantly just going to be burning your wheels. Life is so much more mental than physical. Yes, it's physical too. You got to get your ass up. You got to get the work. You got to get the results. But it's not until you manifest these things, until you're silent, until you have better breathing techniques, you have better posture, you taking time and making the right decisions. You're remaining calm and remaining steady throughout life. You're not allowing people to throw you off course off of how they feel or what they said. And you're manifesting, and you're thinking, and you're attracting love, wealth, abundance. You're attracting, good situations and good outcomes instead of not negative situations and negative outcomes. And when you kill the old you, and you kill your past, you're going to become a completely different person. You're going to become more dominant. You're going to become more manly. You're going to become more masculine. And I am the example of this. You guys can go back from the first video to now, and I'm not even where I want to be. I'm just pumping out this content every single day. We getting better, and we stepping into the best version of ourselves. So if you want to follow this road, come on. It's time to become a diamond. If I can do this shit, you can do this shit too. We're going live on TikTok at 8 o'clock. Follow that. And it's just like making this a lifestyle. Make this content. Make other content. Just pumping out positive frequency. And it doesn't even have to be content. Content is just an example. Working out is just an example. It's just exuding that energy and putting it out into the world positively. Something good is going to come from it. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, lock in with me. I've been on this road for a while, but this is the first time where I feel like, we really going to take off and we really going to lock in. I've always seen the vision, but like I said, when it comes to really like manifesting and putting that energy and effort out there, it's like, this is our time. And I want you guys to, follow the journey, but I also want you to get on your own journey as well. It could be any goal that you have. It's time to reach our goals. We only got one life. Why not? Why not you? Why not me? Why not go after what we want out of life rather than sit around and watch other people win? And it's time for us to step in who we need to be. I love you guys. It's positivity, good vibes. Make sure you guys, we stacking these days. We just getting better. And I appreciate you guys. So I'll see you guys on the next one. See y'all in the gym in the morning. Peace. We out.